Good evening. This is CTV News for Thursday, October 8th. I'm Rochelle Metzger.
And I'm Sonia Shrivastava. Thank you for joining us this evening. A Largo resident has been without power for 6 days now after heavy rains last Friday flooded her basement. Virginia Campbell says dealing with the county and Pepco has been nothing short of frustrating.
The stakes down here too.
72-year-old Virginia Campbell has lived in her Largo home for 28 years. Last Friday, heavy rains caused both her sump pumps to stop working and her entire basement flooded. Campbell called Pepco and they shut her power off.
And they said, well, somebody came in, we have to turn the lights out because you got water on the floor. Okay, when you get the water up, then you call us and we'll come back.
When the sump pump quit, we used an extension cord to plug into various outlets. And every outlet, we used maybe 4 different outlets. Every outlet that we plugged the extension cord into, that blew the fuse or blew the breaker. So that cut power off to individual rooms. And that's why we called Pepco.
Campbell has had to endure chilly nights without heat and has thrown out hundreds of dollars worth of food. A county inspector came on Monday and told her she needed an electrician to make sure there was no wire damage. The electrician came, but the inspector report was late.
He specifically told us that he would have this report in his system by the close of business on Monday. Wednesday afternoon around 3:30 or so, I called the county inspector's office to say, hey, do you have this address in your system because we're waiting on this report? And they say, no, we don't have it. And I'm like, what is going on? We need this report for this electrician to do the job.
The whole back and forth experience has been frustrating for Campbell, who is a recent breast cancer survivor and says she just wants to put this behind her.
I'm frustrated. I'm boiling mad. I feel like fighting somebody. I should say that, huh? Yeah, but it shouldn't have taken this long.
Now, Mrs. Campbell, excuse me, who is a retired DC school teacher, has spent $350 on that inspector report and another couple hundred on the electrician. Meantime, Prince George's police are searching for a suspect wanted in connection with a Capitol Heights murder, and they're offering a $25,000 reward. Wednesday at around 8 p.m., police arrived in the 1400 block of Elkwood Lane after a report of a shooting. Once they arrived, they found 48-year-old Cofield Richardson suffering from gunshot wounds.
About 8 o'clock last night, officers were called to the 1400 block of Elkwood Lane for the report of a shooting. Once they got on scene, they discovered a man laying outside suffering from gunshot wounds. He was later pronounced dead on the scene. Our homicide detectives, preliminarily, we did not believe that this was a random act. Right now, we're working to identify any suspects and or a motive in this case, so we're asking that anyone who may have been in the area at the time, who may have seen anything or heard anything, to please call police. Callers wishing to remain anonymous can call our Crime Solvers hotline.
Now, anyone with information is asked to call Crime Solvers at 1-866-411-TIPS.
State police arrest a man for a hit-and-run accident that injured one person. According to state police, 37-year-old Corey Britton, who was driving, was allegedly under the influence and a Howard County cop. The incident happened Tuesday night in the Forestville area. Police say Britton, who was off duty at the time, did not stop to get out of his car after hitting another vehicle. The quick thinking of the victim took pictures of Britton's car and his license plate. Those photos led police to Britton's Upper Marlboro home, where he was taken into custody. The arresting officer said Britton appeared to be unsteady. Howard County confirmed the incident and say the officer has been placed on administrative duty pending the results of an investigation. The victim was treated at a local hospital. Meanwhile, a man is dead following a hit-and-run incident in Oxon Hill. Police found 60-year-old James Sanders of Fort Washington on Livingston Road around 11:30 Tuesday night, suffering from critical injuries. He died shortly after at a local hospital. Investigators say the car involved is a gray or white Ford Mustang with a racing stripe, possibly with front-end damage. Anyone with information is asked to contact police.
Anne Arundel police make an arrest following a manhunt that trailed through the night. It started just before 9 Wednesday evening when a man carjacked a vehicle in Baltimore. Investigators say police were tailing him in Anne Arundel when he lost control of the car and smashed into the gates at Fort Meade. The suspect then fled on foot. Police, canine units, and a chopper searched for the man. He was arrested this morning just before 11 o'clock. And you're watching CTV News. I'm Sonia Shrivastava.
And I'm Rochelle Metzger.